son, I won't be alone in this, but does anybody just find themselves scared when they go grocery shopping these days? Just the fear that it's just becoming unaffordable. Every time you go, the prices have gone up and up and up, and no matter how much you plan and you buy what you need, none of the extras, none of the treats, the fancy things, the branded things, your shopping bill just seems to be significantly more than it was last year, when last year you were buying the treats and some branded things, and maybe you didn't plan quite as well as you should have. We have 13 children, which is completely our choice. So clearly our food budget is more, and we need a significant amount of food more than the regular family. My husband's salary hasn't gone up this year so far. We're still waiting to find out what pay rise the armed forces get. I'm guessing it's going to be nowhere near what it actually should be and what the military deserve. The fact that they haven't even been bothered to figure that out yet says a lot. As our family receives no child benefit, we receive no tax credits. My husband is a high rate taxpayer, so whilst his salary starts off at what seems a really good amount of money, by the time it is taxed and national insurance to then be divided by 15 of us, needs careful thought and consideration on how we spend our money. But with everything going up, and his salary not, food shopping is something that I absolutely dread.
Hey, Shalom Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. As you see the video, it was posted by the beloved brother titled "A Measure of Wheat for a Penny: Hyperinflation in America." As the collapsing of the dollar draws nigh, the price of foods, goods, housing, all these things are getting ready to skyrocket, yet people's wages remain stagnant. We are probably currently at a 9.5 to 10% increase in inflation on certain products. The housing crisis, or the cost of living, has gone up dramatically from the last 3 years due to the you-know-what. And it's no sight of end, and it's no sight of decline in sight, which shows you we're at the end of Esau's kingdom. It's funny because this place I was getting ready to move in last year had a reasonable, fairly decent price, a monthly rate in these particular lofts, and then find out that there's a 40% increase on rents, and this was roughly last August. Now, I'm not sure if properties can raise their rent at will whenever they feel like it, besides doing things quarterly or annually. You get locked into a rate, you're pretty much there. But this one unit I was looking at was literally $400 or $500 cheaper than what it is today, and this is less than a year. And this is for a one bedroom. Okay, I believe they want like $1,100 for a one bedroom, like I believe 800 some square feet, which is clearly not worth it, in my opinion. That's how much it costs to live in like Chicago, or even though those places are more expensive, but Kansas City, at one point they thrived off the cheap rents. Like I remember back in 2012, you was able to find a 1-2 bedroom, 600-700 square feet, 800 square feet for $500. Now you try to find that price, good luck. We're all overpaying for rent and for gas and all this other shit. Gas just went up. It's currently like $3.38 now versus what it was last week, $3.13. and we're not even in the summer months. So with that being said, man, hey, as you see this Edomite in the picture, she's basically stating that we don't know how we gonna get groceries. And this is a common worry for the average Babylonian, man, because they're not paying attention to the signs. Okay, but this is a sign that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is getting ready to break America down, and justifiably so. Okay, so this is a quote based on Revelation 6:6, but we're gonna get that. It says, Dibbit, Texas dairy farm explosion likely killed thousands of cows, which is another way to justify inflation, hyperinflation. See, and they're using these particular scenarios to trick the American people to say, well, this is the reason why, goods is going up, because we having all these explosions, this and this and this is happening. And, there's a lack of products. So you have what they call supply and demand. But everybody that got fucking two brain cells that rub together know that Esau Edom is behind the shit. Okay, they know that Esau, the so-called white man, is the one that's pulling the strings. Okay, going back into the World Economic Forum, basically stating this is the year of the poly crisis. This is nothing more but a poly crisis. Particular crisis in more than one way, or poly means multiple. And these are smaller crises like out there in Pittsburgh, Montana, going back out to Ohio, parts of the South, Detroit. All these places have experienced some type of, down in Kissimmee, Florida, all these places have experienced some type of train derailment or some type of explosion to these particular processing centers. And since the began, up to three processing centers harvesting food have been burning down a day for the last 2 or 3 years, man. At least 2.5 years, I say that. Places like not egg farms, but egg processing plants, chicken farms, all these places, man. The reason why shit is going up. Okay, because they're getting ready to do away with this current system and bring in a new one. If you want to live in a new system, you're going to have to conform to their rules, man. Okay, but now the average American is feeling a squeeze. Okay, like information came out on Biden the other day that these guys were taking money basically from the Ukraine, all this bribe money, so to speak, from the crisis in Ukraine. And yet they're spending billions of dollars annually overseas and on Israel, and sending billions of dollars to Ukraine annually. But yet your own citizens in America are struggling to pay rent. Okay, homeless, can't find food, can't find decent employment that's going to pay them a livable wage. But yet you send billions of dollars to the Ukraine. Total corrupt system, man. All right. This is why Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is getting ready to destroy this place. And good riddance to this fucking place, man. Because when we get in our kingdom, we ain't gonna have to worry about no damn rent. You gonna have to worry about signing a lease. Oh, well, I got 12 months, I gotta move, I gotta sign a lease, my rent is going up, find another job, put the school kids in a particular school district. We ain't gonna have to worry about none of that shit, man. Okay, we're gonna have our palaces and we're gonna build them up. Heathens are gonna build our fortresses, okay? And they're gonna come to our beck and call. Ain't gonna be no, 12 months, you gotta get the fuck out. Now, if you wanna move and get you a house somewhere else, that's on you. But it's gonna be an effortless process, I'll put it to you that way, versus the madness and the hassle that you have to go through to try to even have some type of probable means in Babylon. Because most of the people that's working now, they can't afford to live. Wages stagnant, but yet inflation up 9%. They need to go up another 10% on wages, man. So that means that the corporations, they got to take the hits. But are they going to do that? No, they're not. Okay, because we're dealing with wicked men. Okay. This is the book of Haggai 1. And I'm going to start at verses 6. It says here. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 3. It says, Then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, Is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sister houses, and this house lie waste? Okay. I believe that goes into like, how like Jake pride themselves in living in luxury. You know what I'm saying? Like certain camps, they push prosperity, about money, opportunity here in Babylon, which is nothing wrong with having money. It's nothing wrong with having opportunity. But overall, when you're pushing that agenda over the Lord, then that's when it becomes a conflict of interest. It says, Now therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Hey, I can relate. We work a lot, but yet we bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough, right? As that young lady was saying in the video, Shit, you go into the grocery store, the price of everything is going up. Eggs, gas, bread, cereals, milks, dairy products. These things are going up. Beef, turkey. The basic necessities that people need to sustain themselves. Esau is putting a cap on that shit. He's putting a tax to it on purpose. We told you that this man was going to start showing his horns. But it says, but ye are not filled with drink, O ye clothe, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. It's like, you ever heard of the term that when you get the money, as soon as you get it, it's gone? The minute you get the money, it goes back to the white man. The minute you get your money, you're paying some type of bill, you're paying some type of expense, you're paying some type of debt, okay? Whether it be insurance, whether it be some type of shit you've gotten in trouble with, it's unavoidable at this point. When you're paying rent, which rent takes 60% of your income, then the bills take another 40%, and then you're left with 20% for groceries and whatever else you need, gas, groceries, debt. And all the time, the debt outweighs everything that you got, your necessities, man. And if you're in a true jam, then they'll take 100% of your income and you can't live. Yep. And it says, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. So basically, we don't have enough, man. Okay, we don't have enough. We don't have enough to do anything, and that's exactly how the elites want it. You got the 99% versus the 1%. All right, this is the book of Joel 1, and I'm gonna start at verses 10. Matter of fact, let's start at verses 9. The meat offering and the drink offering is cut off from the house of the Lord, and the priests and the lords of ministers mourn. The field is wasted, and the land mourneth. For the corn is wasted, and new wine is dried up. And the oil language, man. Okay, the gas right now, America is in a fucking oil crisis now with the Saudis. Because Saudi is basically cutting off America, so therefore America is selling this cheap shit, this watered down gas full of chemicals. You're paying more, but you're getting less. Literally, I go from here up 20 minutes up the street, I'm burning through a half a tank of gas. Okay, and that's on top of repairs that I've done to the car. Okay, literally, my car's supposed to get anywhere between 22 and 28 miles per gallon on the highway. Beckoning being a V8. That's pretty good gas mileage for it to be a V8. But now I'm probably getting at least 13 on the street, and at most I may get 16 or 17 on the highway, if that. 20 on a good day. But I'm literally, if I go from here to Overland Park and back, I would literally burn through damn near a half a tank. And that's only like a fucking hour worth drive, man. You see what I'm saying? So the shit that they're selling us is totally watered down. And I'm thinking I'm bugging out because I'm like, wait a minute, this car is burning too much gas. And on top of that, it could be other mechanical issues too. Because I know that particular car I have, if it's something like a particular sensor, that car drink gas if you don't have the sensors pretty much up top tip shape, because that's a performance car. But even then, I should still see an improvement for what I have done to it. And I'm not seeing an improvement at all, which proves that the shit that Esau has out here is not probable. It says the oil languished, but be ye ashamed, ye husbandmen. How? And that goes into the farmers, because a husband just goes into planting, like you put your seed in the earth, basically like you putting your seed in a woman, husbandry, gardening. It says, O ye vine dressers, for the wheat and for the barley, because the harvest of the field is perished, meaning it's a shortage. Okay, America, Babylon the Great, we're seeing shortages right now, okay, controlled shortages. But nonetheless, these things are going to continue to ramp up. It says the vine is drying up in a fig tree language, and the pomegranate tree, the palm tree also, and the apple tree, and even all the trees of the field are withered, because joy is withered away from the sons of men, which is you fucking heathens, man. Okay. It says, gird yourself and lament, ye priests. How? Ye ministers of the altar, come, lie all night in sackcloth, ye ministers of my power. For the meat offering and the drink offering is withholding from the house of your power, man. Okay. So Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is breaking this place down. Because it says, alas, for the day of the Lord, it is at hand. And as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. And we've been speaking that this thing is going to come, this economic downturn. People are going to start to feel the pain in their wallets, man. The purchasing power of the dollar is losing power as we speak. Okay, these stores, these retailers, man, they all going out of business. I went to a little health clinic yesterday, and they're literally the only business inside this building. And just imagine how much money it costs to operate that building in that particular area of the city. One of the most richest areas of the city. You only have one active health office up in that up in there. You know what I'm saying? And they only the only ones operating. So how are they paying the rent in that building? Everything else closed down. I'm like, where everybody at? Dude, like, oh well, after the you know what hit, everybody just packed up and left. I said, damn. I'm like, y'all the only ones that remain. So literally, they're taking on the weight of the whole building, and that's not a cheap thing, especially out there in Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Shit, man, that's on par with Overland Park, man. You know, not as wealthy as Overland Park, but still, you gotta have some money to live in Shawnee Mission Parkway. All right, I mean, the average I couldn't afford to live out there. I'll put it to you that way. But it says, seeing this, it says, it's not meat cut off before our eyes, yea, joy and gladness from the house of the Most High. But the seed is rotten under their clods, and gardens are laid desolate, and barns are broken down, and the corn is withered. So how do the beasts groan? And the herds of the cattle are perplexed, because they have no pasture. Yea, the flocks of the sheep are made desolate, right? Because they killing everything off. Okay, as we just read here in this article, Dimmitt, Texas dairy farm explosion likely kills thousands of dairy cows. It means that milk is getting ready to go up, which I don't buy that shit anyway. But nonetheless, vitamin D, 1%, 2% milk, you know, your cow's milk, that shit is getting ready to go up. So a gallon of vitamin D milk was running you, what, $2 to $4. You may be paying $6, $7 for it in the coming weeks or months. And they're doing this by design, man. Okay? And it says, "O Lord, to thee will I cry. For the fire have devoured the past." It says, the fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness, and the flames have burnt all the trees of the field. Hey, dairy farm explosion likely killed thousands of dairy cows. And it's right in the scriptures, you're reading it. And it says here, the beasts of the field cry also unto thee. For the rivers of water are dried up, and the fire have devoured the pastures of the wilderness. These wildfires, Chicago getting wildfire reports. That's unusual for Chicago, man. Okay? Alaska, fucking Mexico, wildfires in Alaska and snowstorms in Mexico. We're clearly in the end, man. Okay? We're clearly in the end. All right? Joel 2:1. It says, "Blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the earth tremble. For the day of the Lord cometh, and it is nigh at hand." All right? The day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is swiftly upon us. Revelation 6:5. The third seal famine. And when he opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, "A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine," which the oil and the wine goes into the truth and the elect. Okay, but 3 measures of barley of wheat for a penny, meaning, and that word penny goes into the denarius, which that was a day's wage. Okay, so just think about it today. Let's just say if you make $800 a week, let's just say equivalent, that'd be your penny for the week, right? According to the denarius, it means a day's wage. In this case, it'd be a week's wage, which you're supposed to be paid out every day. And technically you are, but you don't receive your paychecks until the end of the week because technically the money is not there. Okay, it's digital means. The money is loaned out as soon as it hit the account. Okay, that's why you don't get your money until 2 weeks later. But let's just say you make $900 a week and hyperinflation commences, which hyperinflation is soon to come to America. Okay, hyperinflation will be here. We inflation now, but soon to be hyperinflation. So let's just say that, all right, you make $800 a week, your wages are stagnant, you didn't get a raise on the job, but you had a loaf of bread, it's $200, eggs, another $500, dairy meat, another $100, water, $50. Literally, you just spend a total of 700 something bucks right there out of a $800 salary a week. So literally, you just spent all your money try to buy the basic necessities, which you didn't even get much. Got a loaf of bread, $200, carton of eggs, $300, it's $500. Gallon of water, a case of water, $100, $600, and you got $200 more to play with, and you got to figure out how you gonna pay your rent, how you gonna pay your light, how you gonna pay your car insurance, how you gonna pay your gas bill. To the point people gonna say, "Fuck this shit." They gonna take it to the streets and they gonna start a riot. You know, which that shit is way overdue. You people been getting fucked by this government for so long to the point. I mean, honestly speaking, it won't even shit. I don't even see you people rising up, but according to the scriptures say that you will rise up eventually. Because you know, if you were smart, you would take the suit of these other countries. But you know, you Americans, you aren't that smart. You know, you're under the illusion of freedom, which you're not free. Okay, you're not free. You're actually one of the most oppressed countries in the world that's hiding behind luxury lofts and fucking penthouse suites and so-called 501 or so-called Fortune 500 job in a fucking Mercedes Benz. That's the only thing in basketball and football and baseball. That's what's keeping you people in the so-called run for the rat race. Nothing else, man. But you people, you have no hope. And the Most High is getting ready to end this shit. But anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, and with that, Shalom, and Abba Ball.